Hi folks, hope you're well. So, yesterday, last night, more the case, I got quite annoyed about a few things. There were a few things that were just blinking stupid. That stupidity level, it just gets on your nerves. I went to Asda, and they had reductions from last night. Most of those reductions were still there. Slightly reduced again from what they were last night, but not really by much. Still, you know, there was a shepherd's pie that was like the better version, as the version, the small one, and they still wanted £2.50 for it. And at the end, they put all of it in a basket, well, in a trolley, and they're going to chuck all of it away. And I said to the person doing it, years ago, about 4 years ago, it's only about 4 years ago, you could come here and everything would be about 10 pence. So therefore, rather than chuck it out in a bin, they reduced it really, really low so people actually will buy it. And maybe someone who didn't have a lot of money can actually buy food. More food for themselves and their family. But then they stopped doing it. They just stopped doing it. Well, like you could go and get a big bit of, a whole loaf of bread, uncut bread, 10p. 10p. Or just a loaf that's been cut, 10p. They reduce it as low as 10p. Because, again, rather than chucking it away, they just reduce it. Now, the same thing, same time of day as what they used to do it for 10p, it's still 53p. And okay, 53p is not that much. It's nearly half of what the price would be if it wasn't reduced. If it said a few days left, it'd be nearly double. But again, you're coming towards the time of day when you're going to chuck it all in the bloody bin. Make sure it goes. Make bloody sure it goes. Doing that. Saying that, I went earlier in the day as well, and I've got 3 loaves of bread that reduced to nearly half at that time. So again, if they can do it then, by the end of the day, 10 o'clock, it should be reduced to about 10p. And then, you won't have to throw food in the bin. For me, that's bloody stupid. Because now they said, this computer now saying how much it will be now if it's reduced, not a human. Well, a human decided that because they don't give a shit about people or even the food. They don't care. And I said to the woman, does the computer know what's going to happen with the food if people don't know, if people don't buy it? And she just smiled and said, well, obviously, no. I said, well, that's the blinking point, isn't it, really? It's stupid. But she agreed. She said it's absolutely madness. She said, and rightly, you go to Tesco's and at sort of 8 o'clock in the evening, all the reduced stuff is gone, pretty much. Because they reduce it to a point where it goes. They know. Okay, we want it gone. Rather than chucking it in the bin, so you reduce it to that much, it's going to go. And it does. It goes. They have in Tesco's, I think, two aisles. Normally 2 aisles. And, you go around 9 o'clock, they're both pretty much empty. The one for the meat, in the meat aisle, the reduced one there, is empty. Completely empty. And that's good, because you knew that people actually bought it. So good. Yeah. Obviously, I had to use a bus, and again, that was annoying, because the bus stops don't tell you what time that bus will be there. So I was waiting for over an hour. I think, sod it, just walk home. Yeah, just walk, because I don't know how many minutes or whatever it's going to take. And then a bus on the other side of the road went past me, and I thought, oh, now I have to wait for that one to turn around to come back. And that's going to take, what, 30 minutes now? So I walk. Because I've been waiting for over an hour for a bus. I thought, no, that's bloody annoying. If I knew it would be 90 minutes to wait for a bus, sod that. Once I said to people, they want you to use buses and trains, and with trains, they do tell you the time. With buses, no. With some of the bus stops, you can see the time. Yeah, they've got what's it called? You can see the time on the top, which tells the next bus and the next bus after that one. Yeah, okay. But most of them, no, you can't see that because it's not there. They're older stops, so therefore, it is annoying. But there you go. It was just I'm just saying to God, what the blinking hell is the point of this? They want people to use public transport, and then they don't help people to use it. That's completely stupid. Yeah, okay, I think you can actually have the app on your phone, but I'm not that sort of person who takes his phone outside when I'm going to the shop. What's the point? I'm not that person who's basically walking and my nose is on the phone. I didn't do that, no. So I don't really take my phone out when I'm going out. So therefore, the app. Maybe I have to look at the app and see if that will help, because well, actually, I think the issue was it was earlier, because last week the bus was there and I was getting annoyed thinking, last week the bus was here, why not today? I didn't even know it was earlier because I went earlier this time and I finished with the shopping earlier, but I thought it was basically 9:30. It wasn't. It was 8:30. So so the problem is, at night time I think they only have one bus in 2 hours. And do you expect that? No. Well, especially as in the area there's 2 buses that go there and go back to this area where I live. There's 2 buses. There's the 33A and 33C. So therefore, when there's 2 bloody buses, you're thinking there should be at least one each hour. At least. But no. And so, as I say, that's, Therefore, you have to think, if I want to go to Asda at night time and use a bus, then I have to stay there until nearly 10 o'clock. Well, I think it's basically quarter to 10 when the bus is there. So therefore, okay. Yeah. So again, if they want people to use the bus, then sorry, you shouldn't make people only go to the shop at a certain time, because, you know, come on. If I'm in a country area, then yeah, but this is a town. It shouldn't be that in a town. A country road, yeah. Of course. Because most people go to a town, not the country area. So therefore, how many buses should be there at night time? Maybe one. But in a town, come on. Especially because, obviously, with the area, if you live in Lossiemouth, right, and you want to go to Asda, then there's no Asda in Lossiemouth. I don't think so. So therefore, if you're using a bus, you have to use that bus to go to Asda. And stupid. And if you work at Asda but you live in Lossiemouth and you want to go home using the bus, you have to wait for nearly two hours. Nearly 2 hours for a bus. That's, come on. In a town, that shouldn't be the situation. It shouldn't be the situation. Okay, maybe they don't have enough people, to actually drive the buses. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. But actually, I saw an ad about it. Yeah, the money they get is not too bad. Not too bad at all. But if you're just driving, if you're not driving, it's a bloody good job. If you like driving. It is a bloody good job because obviously you're driving. And most of the cars and everything else lets you go because obviously it's a big thing in it, the bus. So therefore, yeah. You're the biggest thing in the road most of the time. So therefore, yeah. Yeah. So if you want to be the biggest person, driving, the biggest thing in the road, then yeah, be a bus driver because they are bloody big. So therefore, yeah. Well, I was laughing actually because when they're driving the bus, they go on the curb all the time because they have to, I suppose. Especially turning around, if it's a turn, then sometimes they have to go on the curb. But I was thinking, if you were doing your driving passing thing, and you did that, you will foul. Going onto the path, if it's that, they're trying to pass the driving thing, then they will foul you by doing that. But maybe, because it's a bus, they won't. Yeah. Different way of driving, I suppose. But yeah, as I say, that was the situation last night. I was quite annoyed, and yeah. Well, the problem again, Bambini pooed before I went, and that was okay, but his poo was a bit, dodgy. Saul didn't poo, and the problem is with Saul, if I do something outside for an hour, when I come in, he's pooed inside because, so therefore I was getting annoyed thinking, oh bloody hell. There's a good chance that when I go home, there will be poo inside because Saul. yeah, I put him out before I went, and he peed, but he didn't poo. So I was like, oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, yeah. Standing there for an hour, I was thinking, oh bloody hell. I was just looking at cars and thinking, that's a nice car. What sort of car is that? And looking at the other shops, seeing what they had, and yeah, saying hello to people who were walking by, and yeah, for an hour. Yeah, I was, I was saying to father, excuse me, come on, where the hell is this bus? Been waiting. I've been doing this and that and this and that and this and that. I'm still waiting. Come on. Pain in the arse. Yeah. But it is what it is. Yeah. So that was the situation I was like. But yeah. What I've got to do, I've got to look and see whether using the app would work, whether that would be more helpful. But also by experience, because I know I tried to look online to see what time the bus would be for this area to go to Asda, and nope. Every time I tried to look, it was the time for the other way, going from that area to Lossie. And I think, I want the other way. How can I see the other way? There was no way that I could see the other way. I was thinking, blinking Nora. I'm trying to see the other way, and yeah. So maybe the app will help. But again, I went out. I saw something that was from the council about the times, and that said it was about 30 minutes after the hour. So therefore, okay. So 7:30, I went out, and again it was about at least 20 minutes waiting. So I went before 30 because it said it's 30, so I went before then. And then, yeah, it was about 50 minutes. Yeah, it was about 70:50 the time. And so I was thinking, oh, blinking or yeah, that was wrong. So, yeah, again, you're just waiting. Spending so much time in your life just waiting. Just standing and waiting. And I said to God, I said, come on, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for whatever needs to happen for people to actually look and listen and realise that it's about you, not them. And I'm still blinking waiting for that. Yeah, I really don't know the point of trying to help people. That's what I was saying to God. I don't. What's the reason to try to help people and even talking to people? What's the bloody reason? Because people won't listen. Not really. Not really at all. Because people don't care. Not now. And again, I understand. The reason why is people have things in their life and they care more about those things. Again, I understand that. But I'm waiting for the proof of what God has been telling me. Because obviously, if there's no proof that God actually tell me that, then will people actually believe it? No. No. Unless it's proof, no. No. Well, I said about the car to God. I said, come on. I said, all these times when I praised you for that car, I thought it was a blessing. No, it's been a bloody curse, that car. I've been saying all the way along it's been a blessing. No, it hasn't. It's been a bloody curse. It passed its first MOT and failed so badly that everyone was saying, oh, just scrap it because it's not worth doing it. And of course, how much would it cost? I don't know. I actually don't know. Probably not too much, but again, probably about £700 it would cost to actually put it through the MOT for it to pass dealing with the issues. That's a lot of money for an older car, I understand it. But again, it's pointing to the father, and yeah. I was saying to God, I said, look, if it is about me giving the car back to you, okay, that's done. Then what? What the bloody hell was the point of all of that? Yeah, putting all those stickers on it, has it really helped anyone? Probably not. Do the people in the church give a shit about it at all? No. Not at all. I mean, I said before, that church down the road has got that thing saying try praying. They think that's going to help people because it's a message that can help people, right? My car has more messages on it that can help people, right? Again, for me, I'm thinking, oh, come on. It's blinking more ridiculous. But there you go. It is what it is. The reason why they think in that church that message is better than what's on my car is because that message can't really offend anyone. The messages in my car would offend a lot of people. Of course it would. Because it's blinking truth. Truth will offend people. So therefore, they won't actually help me to sort that car out. So that car could be used to point to the Father. No, they don't want that. So again, that's why I think, oh, what the hell was the point of all that? Because I could have just said, I bought the car, give the car back to God, and then I should have just sold it in the minute afterwards, saying, there you go. I've given it back to you, God. There you go. Put it online, sell it, whoever wants it has it. There's no point in me spending any time considering what should be on that car, what the messages should be, how what you've said to me should be, what should be used on that car from what you said to me. Yeah. And then waiting to see if that car could be sorted out. What the... it's nearly 9 months now. Nearly 9 months that car's been sitting there. Yeah. Said to God, okay, the car's going to be given away, I think. We'll see what happens. We'll see if someone comes.